What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? I know it's been a little while since we got a live in, but I thought, what better time with the first AP poll for women's basketball dropping? What a perfect time to go ahead and give y'all a midday live to talk about these rankings. Y'all have been asking for the college content, and with the season actually kicking off today. Yo, Daniel, welcome in. With the season actually kicking off today with South Carolina taking on Memphis, I thought, hey, this would be a perfect time to go ahead and jump into the reaction to the AP polls. Of course, nobody is surprised that South Carolina is number one in the rankings. We knew that. Everybody knew that was coming. But who will be their biggest competition? Let's talk about it. Welcome in, everybody. If this is your first time, welcome into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I am your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, and you know I got another banger for you. So kick back, relax, and come on, take a ride with me. Welcome in, welcome in. And I definitely want to get y'all's reaction too from this. We got the top 25 right now coming in. Of course, South Carolina 1, Yukon 2, SC 3, Texas 4, UCLA. You got Duke in there as well. Iowa State returning Audie Crooks. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, y'all. What were y'all's initial reactions to the top 5? What were y'all initial reactions to the top 5? Now, we knew South Carolina returning a straight juggernaut. And if you haven't, go ahead and check out my preview on them. Ashley Knuckles, welcome in. It feels like it could be a South Carolina repeat tour, man. There was the off the court trouble with Ashlyn Watkins that seems to be getting resolved, but I mean, let's not mistake it, people. South Carolina is bringing back an absolute mob, and we know it. We know what they have coming back. The front court is absolutely stacked. The front court is absolutely stacked. You got Ashlyn Watkins, who could be a potential player of the year. Sanaya Fagan made the decision to come back. Chloe Kitts is a player that I think could absolutely have a breakout year for South Carolina this year. Have y'all seen like the work she's been putting in? Not only just working on her physique, putting on more muscle, but she's also been working on the perimeter skills as well. I definitely think we could see Chloe Kitts playing some 3 and some 4 this year. I could see them going big, having her at the 3. Tahina Powell making this decision to come back was absolutely major. The backcourt would have been fine without her. I mean, it could be the time where they cannot physically keep Malaysia Fulwali off the court. The emergence of Tessa Johnson. You got Joyce Edwards coming in, who I think is a generational talent. Like, South Carolina absolutely has no weaknesses, and it makes a lot of sense why they are the number 1 team in this poll, man. They are stacked with depth. I'm excited to see Miriam Dowda make her debut as well, the transfer that South Carolina brought in. Coach Don Staley brought another shooter. This is a situation where South Carolina could have 5 shooters, 5 three-point shooters on the floor at once. Of course, Raven Johnson going to be back to man the point guard position. Like, South Carolina is absolutely loaded. It's no secret there. They look spectacular. They haven't lost a regular season game in 2 years. Coach Don Staley, the best coach in the game right now, in my opinion. The defending champs are definitely the favorites right now. I think the biggest question for most people is who is going to be the biggest competition to South Carolina? Because right now, it's definitely South Carolina and everybody else. Who is going to be the biggest competition for South Carolina? And y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel. Of course, Yukon is number 2 in the polls, followed by USC. Those are going to be 2 very, very good basketball teams as well. South Carolina plays Yukon. Yukon plays USC and South Carolina. So we're going to get some mega matchups during the regular season. We know South Carolina is bringing back a mob. The biggest question for Yukon is going to be, can they stay healthy? Will we see a healthy Yukon? How does AZ Fudd bounce back? How is she going to look coming back off the injury? I love what they did on the recruiting trail, bringing in Sarah Strong, the #1 player in the nation, who I think is going to upgrade that forward position for them. But UConn, it's not the guards. We know Ashlyn Shade, KK Arnold, Caroline Deshawn, Maddie Zabel, Morgan Shelley coming in, who I think could be a breakout freshman for UConn. Morgan Shelley's going to be very, very good for them. Like, the guards are there. AZ Fudd. The backcourt is not the issue for UConn at all. I think the biggest thing that we're wanting to know about UConn is, can they stay healthy, and are they going to get something from the front court? If you guys have followed, they've been very, very big on Jana El Alfie, the top 100 recruit who was injured last year out of Egypt. One of the best bigs, Gino says that he's seen coaching her so far as development at a young age. There's a lot of potential there. They're going to need her to be big. They're going to need Ice Brady maybe to take that next step in her sophomore season. Is she going to be able to be more consistent? Is she going to be able to give them energy on the glass and be able to finish down low? Hello, ladies, and I thank you for your service in all USA military units. Salute to you, Daryl. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, those are the two biggest things. And guys, if you're just joining, we are breaking down the top 25. Top 25. Of course, we know the rankings are out. Y'all see SC1. We got Yukon 2, Southern California 3, Texas 4, UCLA 5, and Notre Dame 6, LSU at 7. I think all those teams that we just talked about have a chance at the national title. But the biggest competition, of course, is going to be, I think Yukon is rightfully so the second best team in the nation. They bring back a lot of experience. Paige Beckers is going to be in the running for Player of the Year again this year. I think she's going to have more talent. Yeah, they lose Aaliyah Edwards. They lose Nika Mule. I love that they brought in Caitlin Chin out of Princeton, a guard that is experienced, that has played in the NCAA tournament, that can come in and start at point guard immediately for them. I think depth won't be an issue, even if they do lose a few players. Like they're still trying to find minutes for like Cadence Samuels and players like that. Lindy, welcome in, welcome in. We got the midday live with Brandon Blakely for y'all. But yeah, y'all give me y'all's thoughts on UConn. Then, of course, Southern California, man. SoCal bringing in JuJu Watkins, who will have something to say about that Player of the Year award her darn self. They bring in a mob. Talia Von Ohoffen, Kiki Riepin. They bring back Ryan Marshall. They bring in Kennedy Smith. They bring in Haley Keckel. Lot of talent, man. SC brings back a mob as well. This is the most. Kaylee Hegel, I think, is going to be a really talented point guard, 5-star that really shined with Team USA, helping them win a gold medal this year. I definitely got to look out for them. The guard play, they're replacing two standouts. Mackenzie Forbes is going to be, and I just think her shooting and her ability to be a veteran leader with this group is going to be missed. It definitely is. Padilla is going to be missed as well. But they upgraded this roster, man. And we know JuJu Watkins is a special talent. JuJu Watkins is an absolute special talent. She's an elite player. She's good enough to be a WNBA player right now. She'd have been a top 5 pick in this year's draft. I think the biggest thing for JuJu this season is going to be being more efficient with the shot selection and being more of a playmaker. But they're going to run the offense through her. Averaging what she did last year as a freshman, second leading scorer in the nation. JuJu's definitely going to be prime time. And, I mean, Southern Cal, they're going to be battle tested. I'm excited. We got to circle that matchup. We got to circle that matchup. How many players are coming back from Yukon? Yukon has a mob coming back. Hold on. Let me get the UConn has a mob coming back. They pretty much brought their entire team back, but Aaliyah Edwards and Nika Mule. They pretty much brought everybody in. They bring in Sarah Strong, who is the #1 player in the nation. They bring in a talented freshman in Morgan Shelley. UConn brings back an absolute mob. I think they are the biggest threat to South Carolina. With USC, man, I think it's going to depend too how quickly they gel. So many new faces, but you have two potential all WNBA talents on that team with Kiki and JuJu Watkins, man. And then you bring in a talented freshman class, and don't sleep on Raya Marshall either. He's one of the better bigs in the nation as well, especially on the defensive side. Do not sleep on Marshall. But yeah, I think UConn, with their experience, how is AZ going to come back off that injury, though? Those are questions you got to ask. Can they stay healthy? Can they finally beat the injury bug? That is going to be the question for UConn because they were the second best team in the nation last year, if we being honest. But I do think they have the depth this year to withstand anything that comes their way. If they do suffer some injuries, they have the depth this year to overcome it. And people were talking about them having a down year making the Final Four, which is wild. That just shows you the pedigree of UConn. But I get me on record. I genuinely think this could be Gino Ariyama's deepest team. So we get a look at the UConn roster. As y'all can see, man, UConn is bringing back an absolute mob. UConn is bringing back an absolute mob. Injuries aside, I don't see a situation where they're not playing for the national championship. They are deep with guard play. The front court is the only issue I got for them. That's the only issue. El Alfie's gonna have to be big. I mean, 6'5", 6'6". She's gonna have to block shots. She's gonna have to be a low post presence. She's going to have to defend the paint for them. She's gonna have to be able to catch passes from Paige Beckers, catch passes for Sarah Strong. But I will say, Sarah Strong, freshman Sarah Strong, #1 player in the class this year coming in, is going to be a major addition for UConn. This was a recruit that they had to get. When you talk about a player that is big, 6'2", 6'3", can handle the basketball, can start the break, can go coast to coast, an elite passer, can shoot the three. She is somebody that they didn't have. They had Paige Beckers at the 4 last year, and I think they had her playing out of position a lot. With Sarah Strong, it gives them another playmaker aside Paige in this front court. Like, I love what she brings when you talk about the just overall skill. She's well-rounded. She can shoot it. She's a great passer out of the post. They got out-rebounded a lot of games last year. That may not be an issue for them this year with Alfie as well as Sarah Strong in there. Ice Brady, I do like her as well. Let me catch up in the comments. Do you think USC should be #2 over UConn? Nah, I don't. I think the top three is good. I got UConn over SC because we haven't seen SC. We've seen UConn. A lot of these players have already played together. The chemistry is there. They just got to stay healthy. But they're not bringing in a whole lot of new players that haven't been there. Like, Chen's going to fit right in where Nika Mule was. That steady point guard. I think she puts them over the edge, can be that lead assist maker, can be that calming presence that has played big games along with Paige to anchor this young group in. No, I think UConn's absolutely loaded. Southern Cal, we got to see how they all look together. On paper, it sounds really, really good. It looks really, really good. But we thought the same thing with LSU when they brought in Anissa Morrow and Haley Van Lith, who's not there anymore. We thought the same thing. It was going to be a super team. So I do expect Southern Cal to be really good this year. They're going to be. I think they have a better team than they did last year, but I don't know. There's more continuity last year. There's a lot of new faces that have to get adjusted to this system. So we'll see. We'll see. They look really good on paper, but it may take them some time to gel. Texas absolutely loaded. How is Rory Harmon going to come back off that torn ACL? She was in the running for Player of the Year last year. before she got hurt. How is she gonna come? We did though with the injury to Rory Harmon. We did see the absolute emergence of Madison Booker, man, and what she can do as a playmaker, as a point forward with this group. Who I felt like she already showed that capability even when Rory was in the lineup. But the way she upped her assists last year and took on the lead playmaking role, like as a freshman, then they bring in Layla Filia from Michigan as well. Texas is gonna have something to say, man. I think Jordan Lee is gonna be a stud for them, a freshman lockdown wing that was really good for Team USA. Helped them win a gold medal this year too, as well this summer. Texas is gonna absolutely be loaded. But y'all let me know. I'm gonna put a poll up. Let's get a poll going. Let's get a poll going. Who is biggest threat to South Carolina? Y'all let me know, because we're going to keep talking about it, but y'all let me know. I got to emphasize the healthy in Yukon. Overall, though, like, I'm not mad at the rankings. I think Iowa State, I mean, seeing them be the only team ranked in Iowa is different. We knew it was Audie Crook's time once Caitlin Clark left. Iowa got some votes, but they are not in the top 25. I like what LSU did. Kim Mulkey went out and got a bunch of guards. Caitlin Gilbert, straight bucket. Miracle Shepard, lockdown defender. Cheyenne Day Williams, like they upgraded this backcourt really well. And according to Simone Augustus, Alea Del Rosario is definitely gonna be one of them ones this year, apparently. Y'all let me know who is going to be the biggest threat to South Carolina this year. Yo, Daryl, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the donation. Thank you so much for the support. Much love, man. Much love. Thank you. Thank you. None of this is possible without you great people. And I know y'all been asking for the women's college basketball content. We are back in full swing, man. Yeah, Iowa didn't get a look. I do think Notre Dame is kind of like my dark horse this year, man. I mean, you bring back Hannah Hidalgo, who is the ACC Player and Freshman of the Year, ACC and National Steals leader. Any other class other than with JuJu Watkins, she would have been absolutely Freshman of the Year. She was incredible. A lot of pressure was put on her, a lot of responsibility without All-American Olivia Miles being in. Now Olivia Miles returns, and they also bring back Sonia Citron. Notre Dame could absolutely have the best backcourt in the nation. That is a three-headed monster. They were small last year. They bring back Maddie Westbeld, who was one of the best fours in the country last year, best role players, who can shoot it, who can score, who has had some big games. She's a great third or fourth option. You also bring in Kate Koval. They needed a center. They did not have a true five last year. They bring in a McDonald's All-American, the number one center in the nation, in Kate Koval, who I think will provide a very steady presence down low, scoring the basketball, rebounding. Notre Dame was really small last year, and I think it cost them in some games, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. So that will not be a problem for them. They brought back a lot of talent. And I mean, this backcourt is going to be dang near impossible to stop. And then we talked about Texas. But yeah, Notre Dame definitely my dark horse. And there's some really good games. I think LSU though, don't sleep on LSU. Don't sleep on LSU either, man. I love what they did with the backcourt. If the talk that we're hearing about Del Rosario is the truth, then I'm absolutely stoked to see what she looks like in year two. Is she gonna be at 6'6", a shot blocker, an enforcer in that paint? Because she really could be the X factor for LSU, man. Del Rosario absolutely could be the it factor for them, the X factor. Because the backcourt's going to be loaded. They're going to have a way better perimeter defending team this year. They're going to have a way better three-point shooting team this year. You got Anissa Morrow. You got Flau'jae Johnson, both who were picked as potential SEC Player of the Years. You bring back Michaela Williams. You got the steady presence at point guard and Last Terapola. And Kim Mulkey brought in some serious firepower in the transfer portal. Biggest question for me, too, is are they going to be able to unlock Jersey Wolfenbarger? Like 6'5" guard, McDonald's former McDonald's All-American. Can they help her get to her max potential? You cannot sleep on Kim Mulkey, only 2 years removed from a national title. A lot of people saying healthy Yukon, a lot of people saying Texas. Respect. Respect. We definitely, I mean, and I don't mean to skip over UCLA either, man. The fact that they brought in Janiah Barker in the transfer portal, I think, is major. They also brought in Tamia Gardner. Like, UCLA brings back one of the best point guards in the nation in Kiki Rice. They are absolutely going to be loaded. You bring back Lauren Betts. Like, that front court is going to be special this year. Barker was a really big get for them, in my opinion, man. UCLA, their experience, they've had those super sophomores together for a full year now. And I'm expecting big things. I think Kiki Rice takes that next step from, like, potentially one of the best point guards in the nation to the best point guard in the nation. I think she's definitely capable of making that jump. She's a guard that's pass first naturally, but can score it from all over the court, man. Literally anywhere from the court. She's got deep range. She's elite at getting to the cup. She's long. She's athletic. She can finish. She can get it off the dribble. Nice tight handle. I think they will go as she goes. And Lauren Betts, now teams are not going to be able to just double team her down low. Now you got Barker down there. You got Gardner down there. I think they are going to have a special group. The Big Ten is going to be nuts, man. Um, I mean, honestly, just looking at some of the other teams, like I love what Ohio State did. Jelani Cambridge, I think, is going to be one of those players that's in the running for Freshman of the Year this year. They bring back one of the best bigs in Cody McMahon. Yeah, Lindy, we got to get it jumping in here. Why everybody so quiet? Is it too early for y'all? I know y'all ain't used to be going live this early. Yes, healthy Yukon is winning the battle right now. Absolutely, absolutely. I think Iowa State, Audie Crooks, Addie Brown, I think are two of the most special. They're going to be a special dynamic duo. I think they're one of the best dynamic duos in the country. Iowa State has been building this program for a few years now. They've played through these freshmen last year, and now they are a year older, ready to make some noise. So I'm definitely excited to see Iowa State. NC State, Isaiah James coming back. Zam Jones, one of the top freshman point guards in the nation, coming to NC State. You bring back Sanaya Rivers. I think they are going to be a really good team as well. You know, we saw them in the Final Four last year. They caught some teams by surprise. NC State will not be a surprise. I think, man, them, of course, Duke and Notre Dame are definitely going to have the ACC locked and loaded again. So excited to see them. Oklahoma bringing in Reagan Beers. First season in the SEC, ranked number 10. I mean, you look at it, man. The SEC may be the deepest conference this year, man. South Carolina, Texas, as well as Oklahoma, all in the top 10. Baylor comes back. Love their backcourt. Love what they did in the portal. West Virginia, J.J. Quinterly, one of the best guards in the nation, decided to come back. Louisville bringing in two NBA daughters coming in, and Gilbert Arenas' daughter is going there. Azalea Arenas, as well as McKinley Randolph, Zach Randolph's daughter. Louisville, I think, overachieved. They overachieved last year. They're not gonna surprise many teams this year, man. But like I said, I mentioned Ohio State. I think at what are they? Ohio State at 14, I think, is a team that could definitely make some noise with Jelani Cambridge. Don't sleep on Florida State. They bring back a lot of talent. They have one of my favorite players, Sarah Benedict, not there anymore. Kentucky and Ole Miss, I think, are two teams to watch. Kentucky, how about Coach Kenny Brooks after dominating the ACC, after taking their starting point guard, one of the best point guards in the nation in Georgia Moore, and has completely revamped this Kentucky roster. So look out for them in the SEC as well, man. Alabama kind of in rebuild mode. I'm a little bit surprised to see them over a team like Iowa, who brings in a lot of talent. Lucy Olson, and you can't replace Caitlin Clark, but if you were going to do it with anybody, Lucy Olson would definitely be a player, third leading scorer in the nation last year. Iowa received 37 votes. Of course, you see TCU, who newly led by Haley Van Lith. Michigan brings in two five-star recruits from Canada. Vanderbilt's on a team on the rise. Tennessee bringing in a new coach, starting a new era for them. Syracuse, what will they look like without Deasia Fair? Stanford, what will they look like without their Hall of Fame coach, Muffin? Uh, lot of questions, a lot of storylines coming into this one, man. A lot of excitement. I like the initial top 25 rankings. Those are some teams that I think definitely could make some moves, though. And I mean, I'm surprised. I think Iowa will be better than a lot of people think. The Big Ten is loaded, but, Hannah Stokey was the Robin to Caitlin's Batman last year. I think she takes another step forward. We saw her break the Iowa single season scoring record. So we know she can be big time when she needs to be. On top of that, Sydney Falter stepped into that starting lineup when Molly Davis went out last year. They do replace a lot, though. It's not just Caitlin. Of course, it's Davis, Kate Martin leaving that group like one of the most successful freshman classes to ever come through. One of the most successful classes, senior classes, to ever come through Iowa. A lot to replace there, but I like what they did. I did a preview on Iowa already, so definitely go check that out. Did one on Yukon, LSU as well. But initial reactions, like I like the rankings. I like the rankings. I think that the top seven, I think, is pretty accurate. Y'all let me know any changes y'all would have made, but I love the top seven, and I think the top seven teams in the nation absolutely have a chance to win a title this year. It's South Carolina versus everybody, but I think South Carolina got better, but I absolutely think their schedule got tougher. I think the nation got tougher, the entire nation got better, and it's exciting times for women's college hoops, man. It really is. I think this year, like, there's no Angel Reese, there's no Caitlin Clark, but there still might be more star power than we've ever seen before. But definitely Notre Dame, Iowa State, two of my dark horses to make some big noise. Billy Bob Cooter, welcome in. Del Rosario has put on 50 pounds of marshmallow fat. Moki not best track record of developing bigs for next level. I mean, she got Brittany Griner and Asia Wilson. I'm just saying. I'm not Asia Wilson. I meant Brittany Griner and Angel Reese. My bad. I'm just saying. But man, according to Simone Augustus, y'all, Del Rosario been working in the gym. I don't know. We'll see. She needs to take a major step forward, though. I'm not gonna lie, cause she looked lost out there half the time, man. She was out there looking like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh half the time, like slow feet, fouling all the time, bad timing. She just looked lost half the time, man. She's 6'6", came in as a 5-star recruit out of New York. Like, they definitely need her to take that next step because LSU didn't bring any bigs in the portal. They're loaded with guards. They didn't bring any bigs in. I do think, though, getting Samaya Smith is going to be huge for LSU. Getting Samaya Smith back is going to be major for them, for sure, without a doubt. You're talking about a double-digit scorer who's probably going to start at the 4 for them, or maybe the 5. Honestly, if they have Anissa Morrow at the 4, maybe they have Smith at the 5. I do think LSU has a better team than they did last year. And I know Angel is going to be a huge loss, but they're deeper this year. It should be a more balanced attack, man. But with Texas and Oklahoma coming to the SEC. I don't know, man. Like the SEC got a lot tougher. And then don't sleep on Ole Miss and Coach Yo. Y'all know she always has them ready to play. Talia Scott's at Auburn now, one of the best defensive teams, has a #1 legitimate 20-point per game scoring option. Like the Ole Miss, the SEC is going to be a dogfight this year, and so is the Big Ten and the ACC for that matter. Deja Kelly left North Carolina. They still bring back Alyssa Udsby. They bring in a talented freshman class. Dak Dang is back with that group. It'll be interesting to see what the Tar Heels look like without their superstar Deja Kelly, who's at Oregon now. But yeah, it is a college basketball is officially here, folks. We got South Carolina in action already. But I just wanted to hop on and give my initial reaction. Man, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this live. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff for all the latest and the greatest. Join our memberships. We got that exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV as well. Until next time, my people, we out.